Okay. So did you go through the chapter last, the formation of
Yes,
contract one?
yes, I did, but I haven't done it.
Hmm.
मैं आज रात करूंगी.
Good. All right. Now, फॉर्मेशन ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वो अब उसी की कंटिन्यूएशन में हम ये चैप्टर करेंगे जिसमें हम कंसिडरेशन, एडिक्वेसी, सफिशिएंसी, प्रॉमिसरी एस्टॉपल, इंटेंशन टू क्रिएट लीगल रिलेशंस, प्रिविटी ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एंड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, ये 6 टॉपिक्स हम करेंगे और हम कोशिश करेंगे कि इंशाल्लाह आज की क्लास में ये चैप्टर मुकम्मल करें. फन है, मजेदार चैप्टर है. कंसिडरेशन, व्हाट इज कंसिडरेशन? अभी
हाँ,
तक क्या अंडरस्टैंडिंग है?
जो हम कंसिडरेशन देते हैं, मतलब पैसे देते हैं या उसके उस चीज को लेने के लिए हम देते हैं,
Right. So
मतलब कॉन्ट्रैक्ट.
consideration is anything that is exchanged for the value of that particular good or services. It mostly it is money, and sometimes it could be other things as well, like maybe bonds or gold or maybe shares. It depends if upon the mutual understanding and agreement of both the parties. If both the parties are agreeable on the consideration, then it is fine for them to exchange shares. If they are not agreeable, then money should be, the currency should be the mode of payment. Okay. Next, valid consideration. एक होती है कंसिडरेशन, एक होती है वैलिड कंसिडरेशन, एक होता है कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, एक होता है वैलिड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. और हमने यही दो चीजें इस पहले वाले चैप्टर में पढ़ी थी. अब हम देख रहे हैं कंसिडरेशन और वैलिड कंसिडरेशन में क्या फर्क है, जरा पढ़िए.
कंसिडरेशन में भी एग्जीक्यूटेड. Consideration may be executed an act in return for a promise, an executory a promise in return for a promise. It may not be a past unless one of three recognized exception applies.
All right. Consideration may be executed an act in return for a promise, or executory a promise in return for a promise. अच्छा, एग्जीक्यूटेड में एक एक्ट हो चुका है और उसके बदले में एक प्रॉमिस आया है, दैट मीन्स द कंसिडरेशन इज एग्जीक्यूटेड. वेराज एग्जीक्यूटरी, एक प्रॉमिस आया है और उसके बदले एक और प्रॉमिस आया है. That's all. There is no action going on over here. There are two promises getting exchanged. Over here, there is a promise being exchanged with exchange toward the act. Next, it may not be passed unless one of three recognized exceptions applies. It may not be passed means यानी इसको हम नजरअंदाज नहीं कर सकते सिवाय अगर ये exceptions applicable हो तो ये कौन सी है एक्सेप्शन, जरा देखते हैं. हम एग्जेम्पशन को केस स्टडी में पढ़ रहे होंगे. सो इफ कंसिडरेशन इज पास्ट देन इट इज नॉट इन्फोर्सेबल. क्या मतलब इस लाइन का?
अगर वो कंसिडरेशन पास में होगी तो वो इन्फोर्सेबल नहीं होगी, वो उस पर नहीं लगेगी.
ठीक है, मगर क्या मतलब है इस बात का, कोई समझ आ रही है इसकी कि क्या मतलब कंसिडरेशन अगर पास्ट में होगी तो? ओके, इसको इसको हम स्टार मार्क कर रहे हैं. इससे रिलेटेड केस अभी आएगा थोड़ी देर में, हम उससे अंडरस्टैंड करेंगे इस पूरे जुमले को. एग्जीक्यूटेड कंसिडरेशन डेफिनेशन जरा पढ़िए.
Executed consideration is consideration which passes when the contract is made. For example, in shop, the goods and the payments of the consideration which passes at the time the purchase is made.
Next, executory consideration.
Consideration is a promise given for a promise. The consideration in support of each promise is the other promise, not a performed act.
Exactly. Executed consideration में ट्रांजैक्शन हो रही है और उसी वक्त गुड या सर्विस भी दी जा रही है और उसी वक्त पेमेंट भी हो रही है. एग्जीक्यूटरी में ना पेमेंट हो रही है ना ही गुड्स और सर्विसेज पास हो रहे हैं, सिर्फ और सिर्फ प्रॉमिस किया जा रहा है. ये दोनों तो क्लियर है। अब हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। एडिशनल रूल्स फॉर वैलिड कंसिडरेशन, पढ़िए।
As well as being either executed or executory, there are additional rules that they must be met for consideration to be valid. Performance must be legal. The court will not enforce payment for illegal acts. Performance must be possible. Agreeing to perform the impossible is not a basis for a binding contract. Consideration must pass from the promisee. Consideration must be beneficent. Consideration must be sufficient, but not necessarily adequate.
Adequate. So these are the additional rules apart from being either executed or executory. Number one, it should be legal. Number two, should be possible. Number three, must pass from the imprimacy. And number four, should be sufficient, if not adequate. Now, can you tell me the difference between sufficient and adequate? What is sufficiency? And what is adequacy?
Enough.
Hmm?
Enough होनी चाहिए, sufficient.
Enough होनी चाहिए और adequate?
Adequate. Yes. जरूरी नहीं है वैसी की वैसी हो, मतलब लाइक अगर हम मनी दे रहे हैं तो जरूरी मनी ही हो.
Okay, let's understand these two terminologies through an example. Do you know how many liters of water is required by a human body?
Liters.
How many liters does the male require and how many liters does the female require?
I guess 7 liters.
For male, it is 3.2 and for female, it is 2.7. Okay, liters. We are not
Okay.
talking about glasses, we are talking about liters. So
Okay.
3.2 for male and 2.7 for female. This is the adequate amount of water that is required per day by a human body. But are we consuming this much of water every single day?
No.
मुश्किल से 1 लीटर 1.5 लीटर, इससे ज्यादा शायद ही कोई पी रहा हो. In general, I'm generalizing it. ठीक है? So 1 to 1.5 liters, that is what we are consuming, 7 to 8 glass a day. And do you think this is adequate?
No.
No, but this is sufficient for us to survive, for us to live,
Right.
right? So now this is the difference between adequate and sufficient. So that means when you are into a contract, your payment, your consideration might not be adequate enough as per your skills or expertise or experience, but they need to be sufficient in order to form the contract. Otherwise, you will back off. Yes or no?
Yes.
In
Right.
order to be motivating for you to do the work, the consideration needs to be sufficient at least.
Right.
That's the difference between sufficient and adequate. Now next, past consideration. Now we are jumping onto the case. Re McArdle, 1951. Please read.
Under a will, the testator's children were entitled to a house after their mother's death. In the mother's lifetime, one of the children and his wife lived in the house with the mother. The wife made improvements to the house. The children later agreed in writing to repay the wife in consideration of her carrying out certain alteration and improvements. But at the mother's death, they refused to do so. Decision: the work on the house had all been completed before the documents were signed. At the time of the promise, the improvements were past consideration, and so the promise was not binding.
What did you understand? क्या
Like,
समझ
एक
आया?
इसके फैक्ट्स में है कि एक और the mother wife made improvement to the house and children later agreed to repay wife in consideration. उन्होंने घर की इम्प्रूवमेंट, उसकी बीवी ने घर की इम्प्रूवमेंट कराई थी, but
All right, there is a family living in a house and there's an old mother, and she has 3 children. So one son lives with her, and the other 2 sons live somewhere else. Okay. Now this son with her wife and her family, they are living together in this house. Now this house basically belongs to the mother and the father who is supposed to be dead over here. Okay. So now mother and father is dead, mother grew old, and the child has his own family now, and they are living in this house, and they are therefore renovating the house. Now it's the time of Eid. ईद में आए भाई लोग मिलने के लिए, और जब आए तो देखा, अरे वाह क्या जबरदस्त रेनोवेशन करवाई है, ये तो बड़ा अच्छा हुआ। अब भाइयों ने माँ से बातचीत करते हुए ये बातों बातों में ऐसे ही जिक्र कर दिया, माँ जो घर की रेनोवेशन है ना, उसमें हम भी अपना हिस्सा डाल देंगे, कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है, घबराना नहीं है, ये तो हमारा साझा घर है ना। मतलब समझ रहे हैं? So they wanted to actually show some kind of ownership in the house, and therefore they said that we would be contributing in the all the expenses that this brother bore for the renovation. So then what happened? The mother died. This mother also died. Father was already dead. And this son, he asked the brother that to pay, but the brother refused. So he went to the court. And when he went to the court decided that no, you did not start the renovation after having this conversation with the brother. You started the renovation before having this any kind of agreement with your brother, and therefore whatever he offered would be considered as a past consideration, and which cannot be binding. This promise cannot be binding, and therefore you cannot sue him. You cannot claim that money. Got it? This is
Yes.
called past consideration. Now please read the definition.
Past consideration is something that has already been done with the promises when the promise is made. For example, agreeing to pay for goods which have already been delivered.
Okay. So जो चीज past में हो चुकी है without any mutual agreement before getting the work done, तो फिर वो past consideration में fall in करता है, and that particular promise or claim is not binding. Next. Roscola versus Thomas, 1842. Please read.
The claimant agreed to buy a horse from the defendant at a given price. When negotiations were over and the contract was formed, the defendant told the claimant that the horse was sound and free from vice. The horse turned out to be vicious, and the claimant brought an action on the warranty decision. The express promise was made after the sale was over and was unsupported by the fresh consideration.
Okay, so the sale was already done, and it was said later on that okay, I will be doing this and this. So the horse turned out to be vicious, and the claimant brought an action on the warranty. So after the horse was sold, the claimant had said that, oh, this is a very peaceful horse, and therefore there was no claim or no this promise was not binding on the claimant. All right, next. In 3 instances, past consideration for a promise is sufficient to make the promise binding. Yani ye kya hai? These are the exceptions to the past consideration. And what are the exceptions? The first one,
Past consideration is sufficient to create liability on a bill of exchange, such as check. Most checks are issued to pay existing debts.
right? Next,
After 6 or in some cases 12 years, the right for sue for recovery of debts becomes statute barred if after that period the debtor makes written acknowledgement of the creditor's claim, the claim is again enforceable at law.
so what are they saying in the second point? After 6 years or 12 years, depending upon the state bars the recovery. That means you cannot, you cannot wake up after 6 years and just come and say, oh, Mr. X had so much amount due on me. He has to pay. So the state will say, where were you for the long 6 years? Why didn't you sue him before? And therefore, his claim would not be taken into account. Or else, अगर कोई debtor आके makes written acknowledgement of the creditor's claim कि नहीं, हाँ इसका उधार है मुझ पे, तो मुझे तो देना बनता है, अनलेस ऐसा कुछ होता है तब तक ये सू नहीं हो सकता. थर्ड,
When a request is made for service, this request may imply a promise to pay for it. If after the service has been rendered, the person who made the request promises a specific reward, this is treated as fixing the amount to be paid.
क्या कह रहे हैं? When a request is made for a service, this request may imply a promise to pay for it. यानी अगर कोई आ रहा है, कोई कह रहा है कि मुझे F9 का कोर्स पढ़ना है आपसे, तो जब वो कह रहा है F9 का कोर्स पढ़ना है, तो ऑब्वियसली ही इज ऑल्सो अग्रीइंग कि वो पे करेगा. If after the service has been rendered, the person who made the request promises a specific reward, this is treated as fixing the amount to be paid. और अगर बाद सर्विस देने के बाद उस बंदे ने जिसने रिक्वेस्ट किया था वो फिर से एक प्रॉमिस कर दे कि हाँ हाँ मैं आपको दे दूंगा, तो ये जो है दिस इज ट्रीटेड एज फिक्सिंग द अमाउंट टू बी पेड. यानी कि फिर वो अमाउंट फिक्स हो गई कि वो उसने देनी ही देनी है, क्योंकि उसने सर्विस जैसे ही कंप्लीट हुई उसने ये कहा कि हाँ हाँ मुझे आपको देना है. इट्स अ प्रॉमिस अगेन. So these are the three exceptions where the promise becomes binding. Where the promise becomes binding, where the past consideration rule of law does not apply. I hope these three exceptions are clear.
Right.
The first one is in the situation of a bill of exchange. The second one is if you awaken after 6 or 12 years, depending upon the state, then the state stops you from claiming any kind of amount. And then when a request is made for a service and they are promising to obviously pay off after the service is delivered. And they just make a promise, nothing else. So that's a promise which becomes binding. You can go to the court and get the promise done or executed. A bill of exchange is a, please read.
Negotiable bill of exchange is a negotiable instrument which entitles the holder to payment at future date.
Okay. Bill of exchange is a negotiable instrument which entitles the holder to payment at a future date. That means whoever has this bill of exchange is liable or has an amount which is due to him by the party. So here is another case, Lampley versus Braithwaite, 1615. The facts, please read.
The defendant has killed a man and had asked the claimant to obtain for him a royal pardon. The claimant did so at his own expense. The defendant then promised to pay him £100. He failed to pay it and was sued. Decision: the defendant's request was regarded as containing an implied promise to pay, and the subsequent promise merited a fixed amount.
And therefore this promise was a binding promise. He just killed a man and he asked the claimant to obtain him for a royal pardon, and the claimant did so at his own expense. And the defendant then promised him that he would pay him £100, but he failed and then he was sued again. And that promise was a binding promise. Okay, next. Adequacy and sufficiency of consideration, we have understood it well. Just go through these points. The court will also seek to ensure that a particular act or promise can actually be deemed to be consideration. Learn these rules. Number one, consideration need not be adequate. Number two, consideration must be sufficient. And we have thoroughly understood this through the example. Okay, let's read the case, Thomas versus Thomas, 1842. Please read.
By his will, the claimant has been expressed a wish that his widow should have have the use of his house during her life. The defendant, his executors, allowed the widow to occupy the house A in accordance with her husband's wishes, and B in return for undertaking to pay a rent of £1 per annum. They later said that their promise to let her occupy the house was not supported by consideration. Decision: compliance with the husband's wishes were not valuable consideration, no economic value attached to it. but the nominal rent was sufficient consideration.
So what is it saying?
एक हाउस था जिसको चाहता था कि वो बंदा कि मेरी वाइफ जो है ना यूज करे, तो उसकी वाइफ ने जो है ना उसकी वाइफ को उसने घर दिया फॉर $1 पर रेंट पर, राइट? सही है।
ठीक है, फिर
और वो उनका रेंट जो है ना वैल्यूबल, मतलब एक कंसिडरेशन, सफिशिएंट कंसिडरेशन थी।
वो भी पर एनम, पॉइंट टू बी नोटेड.
पर
They later said that their promise to let her occupy the house was not supported by consideration. That means obviously husband ने अगर allow किया है तो उसमें कोई consideration की ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है. अगर ये £1 per annum है भी तो ये कोई बहुत ही मामूली सी बात है, इसमें तो कोई वो बहुत बड़ी consideration है भी नहीं. So compliance with the husband's wishes was not valuable consideration. No economic value attached to it, but the nominal rent was sufficient consideration. यानी कि कह रहे हैं कि ये सफिशिएंट तो है ना, कंसिडरेशन भले ही जितनी भी कम हो, ठीक है, एडिक्वेट नहीं है, बट सफिशिएंट तो है ना. तो आपको ये देना था, आपने नहीं दिया, क्यों नहीं दिया? और वो कह रहे हैं कि जब आपने हस्बैंड की बात मानी, उस घर में रही हो, तो वो इटसेल्फ कोई कंसिडरेशन नहीं कहलाई जाती कि अरे मैंने तो उसकी बात मानी, दैट्स द कंसिडरेशन. नो, दैट इज नॉट द कंसिडरेशन. यू नीड टू पे बिकॉज दैट्स व्हाट द अंडरटेकिंग सेड. ठीक है, आपसे अंडरटेकिंग, अंडरटेकिंग का क्या मतलब होता है तेरी? अंडरटेकिंग का क्या मतलब है? आप कभी ये एक्सपीरियंस किया हो, आप जब हॉस्पिटल में जाते हो और कोई बड़ी सर्जरी होती है तो डॉक्टर्स पेशेंट की फैमिली से अंडरटेकिंग लेते हैं.
यस, वो
इसको हम एक और वर्ड भी कहते हैं, क्या कहते हैं?
कि हमें वो बाद में अगर कुछ भी हुआ तो वो हमें नहीं वो करेंगे, सू नहीं करेंगे।
एग्जैक्टली, वो एक साइन करवा लेते हैं कि हम जिम्मेदार नहीं है कुछ भी हुआ तो दैट्स एन अंडरटेकिंग. या जिसको हम वो भी कहते हैं, अभी हम आगे चल के इसको भी पढ़ेंगे, डिस्क्लेमर.
ओके।
डिस्क्लेमर है कि पहले से ही आपने बता दिया कि भाई एट द टाइम ऑफ एनी डिफिकल्टी या कुछ भी गड़बड़ होती है तो हम रिस्पॉन्सिबल नहीं. नेक्स्ट, सफिशिएंसी. कंसिडरेशन इज सफिशिएंट, इट हैज सम आइडेंटिफाइबल वैल्यू. चैपल वर्सेस कंपनी वर्सेस नेस्ले कंपनी. चैपल एंड कंपनी वर्सेस नेस्ले कंपनी. प्लीज रीड द फैक्ट्स.
As a sale promotion scheme, the defendant offered to supply a record to anyone who sent in a postal order for one cents 6-day and 3 wrappers from the 60 bars of chocolate made by them. The claimant owned the copyright of the tune. They sued for infringement of copyright. In the ensuing dispute over royalties, the issue was whether the wrapper, which was thrown away when received, were part of the consideration for the promise to supply the record. The defendant offered to pay a royalty based on the price of 1 cent 60 per record, but the claimant rejected this, claiming that the wrappers also represented part of the consideration. Decision: the wrappers were part of the consideration as they had commercial value to the defendants.
ठीक है, यहाँ पे सेल्स प्रमोशन के लिए इन्होंने एक प्रमोशन निकाली थी जिसमें उनको रैपर जो देगा उनको एक सीडी या रिकॉर्ड मिलेगा किसी वो म्यूजिशियन का. तो अब क्या हुआ कि अब कुछ लोगों ने कहा कि नहीं, हम जो है आपको पैसे दे देते हैं, आप हमें दे दो ऐसे ही. तो उन्होंने कहा नहीं सॉरी, हम नहीं दे सकते, हम आप रैपर लेकर आओगे तो ही हम दे सकते हैं. तो डिसीजन क्या आया कि रैपर वर पार्ट ऑफ द कंसिडरेशन एंड बिकॉज दे हैड अ कमर्शियल वैल्यू टू द डिफेंडेंट्स. तो यानी कि उनका जो सू किया हुआ केस था वो फ्लॉप हो गया, उनके फेवर में कोई डिसीजन नहीं आया. ऑल राइट, नेक्स्ट, हॉटन वर्सेस हॉटन.
Under a separation agreement, the defendant agreed to pay his wife, the claimant, $30 per month. Under the deed, this amount was net pay after deduction of income tax for 9 months, and husband paid it without any deduction so that the wife had to make the deductions herself. He then signed a document agreeing to pay such amount as after the deduction of income tax should amount to the clear sum of £30. He paid this for 3 years, then stopped, pleading that the later agreement was not supported by the consideration decision. The later agreement was supported by the consideration. The wife could have sued to have the original agreement rectified, but did not.
तो यहाँ पे दोनों की सेपरेशन हो गई है और हस्बैंड ने अग्री किया है कि वो £30 पर मंथ देगा. Under this deed, the amount was a net payment after deduction of income tax for 9 months. The husband paid it without any deduction. Husband ने 9 महीने तो पे किया, मगर फिर उसके बाद क्या किया, उसके बाद देना बंद कर दिया. तो he paid this for 3 years. उसको वैसे 3 years तक उसको देना था, then stopped, pleading that the later agreement was not supported by consideration. उसने 3 सालों तक दिया और फिर उसके बाद बंद कर दिया. वाइफ ने जाके सू कर दिया और क्या पता चला कि the later agreement was supported by consideration. The wife could have sued to have the original agreement rectified, but did not. तो उसने, वो चाहती वाइफ तो उसको सू करती, मगर उसने कोई खास एक्शन नहीं लिया हस्बैंड के अगेंस्ट. नेक्स्ट, अब यहाँ पे वही बात आ गई, बिकॉज देखो जब हस्बैंड वाइफ का केस होता है, यूजुअली एक जनरल सिनेरियो में बात हो रही है, या किसी फैमिली में केस होता है, 2 भाइयों का होता है, तो यूजुअली अच्छा नहीं लगता कि उसको हम लीगली बाइंड करें, लीगली जलील करें, लीगली बहुत ज्यादा कोर्ट में जाके सू करें और सारी बातें उसकी जाके बताएं. अच्छा नहीं लगता. तो बहुत सारे लोग ऐसा नहीं करते, वो बोलते हैं कि कोर्ट के बाहर ही मामला निपट जाए, क्यों हम अपने खानदान का कोर्ट में जाके तमाशा बनवाएं. तो यूजुअली ऐसा होता है, बट देर आर एक्सेप्शंस एंड देर आर फैमिलीज हु हैव टेकन द फैमिलीज टू द कोर्ट एंड हु हैव taken the contract and willing to sue them or legally binding, willing to make it legally binding. Next, performance of existing contractual duties. Performance of an existing obligation imposed by statute is no consideration for a promise of reward. अच्छा, अगर तहरीन मैं आपको कहूँ कि तहरीन तुम मेरी क्लास जरूर अटेंड करना, ठीक है ना, अगर तुम आओगी ना तो मैं तुमको कैडबरी चॉकलेट दूंगी, तो तुम बोलोगी यार मैम मुझे तो वैसे ही आना था, आप कैडबरी चॉकलेट ना भी देती तो मैंने तो आपको पे किया हुआ है, मुझे तो आना ही था क्लास लेने के लिए. ठीक है, तो यानी मेरा कोई भी एडिशनल रिवॉर्ड आपको वो एक्शन करने पे मजबूर नहीं कर सकता जो आप ऑलरेडी करोगे बाय ऑब्लिगेशन. ठीक है, या इसमें वाइस वर्सा ले लो, आपने कहा कि मैम आज आप आएंगी ना पढ़ाने के लिए, आप आएंगी तो मैं आपको फला फला चीज दूंगी, तो मैं बोलूंगी बेटा मुझे क्या किस बात के लिए ब्राइब कर रही हो, मैं तो आऊंगी, डेफिनेटली आऊंगी, क्यों नहीं आऊंगी, मुझे मेरा फर्ज है आपको पढ़ाना. ठीक है, तो ऑब्लिगेशन जो किसी भी काम की हो और वो ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्ट कर रही हो, तो उसके ऊपर अगर आप रिवॉर्ड भी दो तो दैट्स नॉट कंसिडर्ड एज अ कंसिडरेशन. ओके, इट्स नॉट अ वैलिड कंसिडरेशन. Now, Collins versus Godfrey. The claimant has been subpoenaed to give evidence on behalf of the defendant in another case. He alleged that the defendant had promised to pay him 6 guineas for appearing. Decision: there was no consideration for this promise. Why? क्योंकि उसको already कोर्ट केस में अपियर होना ही था, उसका फर्ज था कि वो अपियर हो, गवाही दे, जो सच है उसका साथ दे, और अगर उसको कंसिडरेशन का किसी ने लालच दिया है तो वो उस पर लाजिम नहीं है कि वो उसको पे करे. बट इफ सम एक्स्ट्रा सर्विस इज गिवन देन सफिशिएंट कंसिडरेशन शुड बी गिवन. कोई एक्स्ट्रा सर्विस दे रहे हैं तो फिर तो बनता है. ऑल राइट, नेक्स्ट. Promise of additional reward. पढ़िए.
If there is already a contract between A and B promise additional reward to A, if they A perform their existing duties, there is no consideration from A to make that promise binding.
If there is already a contract between A and B, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के तहत ए और बी को आपस में सर्विसेज और कंसिडरेशन देनी ही देनी है, मगर बी प्रॉमिस कर रहा है एडिशनल रिवॉर्ड, नहीं नहीं प्लीज जल्दी कर दो, मैं तुम्हें और पैसे दे दूंगा, बोनस दे दूंगा, फला दे दूंगा, ये काम कर दो, तो वो कंसिडरेशन नहीं माना जाएगा, क्योंकि वो ऑलरेडी इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट and he has to fulfill it anyhow. So that's not a consideration from me to make that promise binding. ठीक है, यहाँ तक कहानी क्लियर है, आगे बढ़े.
Okay, yes.
ये कुछ केस स्टडीज हैं, आप गो थ्रू कर लीजिएगा, स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड है, नथिंग। तो हम हर एक टॉपिक का एक एक केस स्टडी लेंगे। परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ एग्जिस्टिंग कॉन्ट्रेक्चुअल ड्यूटी टू अ थर्ड पार्टी, पढ़े।
If A promises B a reward, if B will perform the existing contract with C, there is a consideration for A's promise since they obtain a benefit to which they previously had no right, and B assumes new obligations.
अब देखो, बी और सी का आपस में कॉन्ट्रैक्ट था, और बी और सी काफी अरसे से उस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को फुलफिल नहीं कर रहे। तो ए ने बी को प्रॉमिस किया कि अगर तुम सी के साथ जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है उसको फुलफिल कर लोगे तो मैं तुम्हें रिवॉर्ड दूंगा। तो यहाँ पर क्या होगा, क्या इसको माना जाएगा? तो परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ एग्जिस्टिंग कॉन्ट्रेक्चुअल ड्यूटी टू अ थर्ड पार्टी, यहाँ पे क्या सीन है?